Struggling with the King of Thorns? No worries, I'm here to make things clear in this week's Behemoth Breakdown. Before taking on Koshai, there is a few things you may want to know. Koshai has an elemental weakness to flame. This behemoth has a wound debuff as well as two brand new debuffs I like to call Barbed and Breathless. Severing Koshai's tail will cause it to regrow and have increased range compared to its unbroken counterpart, so keep that in mind if you're going for tail breaks. If you struggle at maintaining your stamina bar, I recommend equipping mobility cells such as conditioning when hunting this behemoth. This is when Koshai is Aether Charged, Enraged, and Aether Raged, which is a combination of the two. In its Aether Charged state, both arms will be able to extend, reaching much further distances than before. Like every behemoth currently in the game, the Enraged state will increase its attack speed, but when Koshai enters its Aether Rage state, unlike other behemoths, it will throw another ability into the mix, changing the way you approach and take on the King of Thorns. Moving on, let's talk about what Koshai has at its disposal. A commonly used move when players are in front of Koshai. Swipe is a move that covers nearly 180 degrees in front of this behemoth. If you see an arm raising up, this is a clear sign Swipe will be used. There are many ways to dodge this attack, but notice how far that arm comes around on the other arm? If possible, try to avoid dodging in the same direction of the swing, especially in those times when it's able to extend its arms. One of the stronger attacks in Koshai's arsenal, the head will lower before charging down a somewhat straight path, so stay clear of this move. It's not a difficult move to avoid so long as you leave yourself enough time to avoid it. A leap that almost feels like it's in slow motion. It's easy to avoid, but a powerful attack if it connects. Even though it's powerful, it can be interrupted, giving you a chance to dish out some extra damage, so take advantage of this when you see it. A go-to move when players are nearby the tail and hind legs. It's an attack with 2 quick swings that covers a good portion around Koshai. Make sure you have enough stamina to spare because you might burn just more than one roll or dash to avoid this move. Remember, if the tail is severed, watch out for the increased range. Roots covered with thorns will open a path for this behemoth to burrow underground. Once underground, there are 3 possible outcomes. 1, it will use it as a way to put some space away from the player. 2, it will use the move Pounce. Or 3, it will escape to another part of the island. Stomping the ground, a blue flower surrounded by thorns will form, spawning either at a player's location or at a healing wall. Stepping on these thorns, players will be affected by the debuff, Barbed, which causes a slow movement speed, a disabled dodge, and slowly draining health. If you happen to be trapped in these thorns, start swinging. As long as you don't stop swinging, you won't lose any health. Once you destroy the flower or the thorns at your feet, you'll be able to dodge once again. Items such as grenades and airstrikes or attacks from Koshai are other methods you could use to destroy these flowers. A small set of thorns that will be lobbed into the air and rain down on the player, inflicting wound to those unfortunate enough to get hit by it. As long as you keep moving and paying attention to where it's landing, this move will not pose any problems. Instead of thorns raining down on the player, these thorns will have a horizontal spread formation which can be avoided if you stay away from the tail side of the behemoth. Otherwise, a quick dodge might be needed if you're unable to do so. If hit, just like the thorn lob, the wound debuff will be applied to the player. Standing on top of its thorny perch, a pod will launch from the top of the perch and slowly fall down towards the player's location, burying into the ground. Once being in the ground for only a split second, vines will sprout out from the ground, damaging and knocking you down for a short period of time. While Koshai is on the perch, it will be vulnerable to an interruption. Reach the damage threshold during this time and it will fall from its perch. Beginning its Aether Rage state, a strong current of wind will surround the Behemoth, making most attacks outside of the barrier unable to hit Koshai. You can attack from within, but you'll experience the debuff Breathless, which negates stamina regeneration while inside the Windy Dome. There are two ways to get rid of the barrier. One is reaching the damage threshold, the other is to wait it out and let the time expire. The King of Thorns is sure to be a challenge, and hopefully all the information I have given will aid you in your next Koshai encounter. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in Dauntless.